think I need to do the.
Welcome, everybody, to Catfish Weekly, along with Josh and Chad. I'm Lyle, and boys, bread is bait.
Bread
I
is
don't
bait.
care, I don't
I
care
hate
what
chicken.
I can relate. I mean, chicken's not bait. You're supposed to eat chicken. And by the way,
Only part of a chicken fit to eat's the wing. The rest of it's
I
garbage
like
anyway.
the wings. I like some livers. But
I
I
like
will
the
tell
ribeye.
you,
Livers, you forgot about livers. They're good.
Cindy fixed me some stuff last night. It's kind of like a casserole that had chicken in it. And I really don't like chicken at all.
Hmm
This stuff was really, really good.
I don't think Cindy makes anything that's not good.
Well,
I've come
not
to the
really.
impression that Cindy,
Yeah. Yeah, she's a pretty good cook. She really
yeah.
is. That's why I look so full figured all the time.
I'll tell you
Well,
what, I know she
welcome
makes some
everybody to
great.
these- Yeah, that don't have nothing to do with eats.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's great to see you guys in here tonight. We've got a whole bunch of people in chat, looks like. And Chad, you got some tournament results, don't you?
I sure do. I sure do. We got from the Indiana Catfish Association out of Turtle Creek. This was on 6/17, so that would have been Saturday. We've got the top three. Third place, Tommy Harrison and Scott Smith at 35.94. Second place, Amber and Brad Becks at 54.27. And in first place, Morris Arnold and Eli with 58.87 and a big fish of 11.22.
Nice.
I would like to mention that Brad Becks is the gentleman that every week that they have a tournament over there that sends us in those results. And we're happy to do them for anybody. You just have to get them in before the show starts, because once the show starts, then it kind of don't work. But we're happy to. And if you got any upcoming stuff that
Hmm
you want to get the word out to, we'd be glad to do that for you. There's no charge for that. We just do it because we like to. Pretty much it.
Yes, sir.
So we got several people in chat. You're going to go through them too.
Yeah, let's go through it. We got Pontoon Jody was first, Mr. Mike Sampson, Dale Hayslip, Creole Catfishing, Crappie Dave Fish on, Joe Buck 66, Mr. Brad Becks, Lil River, that's a new one,
Little
Mhm.
River.
Mr. Tim Molina, he likes the thighs. I'm a thigh guy myself. We got Fishing with Big Mike. What? What? You guys don't like thighs?
No, I like them. I like
Chicken
them a lot.
thighs are good.
Yeah.
We got the All-Star Feeling Caddy, Pam Hollinger. She had a great weekend up at Sandusky, I saw. We got, let's see, I think Dale Hayslip. We got Sunny Cat Nabber Parker, my wonderful wife. Get Hooked on Deep Fishing, who's also a member. Skip over that one that you have because he doesn't count because he's not even the number one son anymore.
No.
Rods and Reload thought.
Yeah.
Anyway, hello, Luke.
Luke has some.
Wow, that's all. We're at the bottom.
Luke and Tara has some new videos out where
Did you
they.
get Sonny Parker?
Luke does videos. I've never seen this. I didn't know he did.
He has a channel?
Didn't know he had a channel.
Wow.
You guys are just mean. They are great videos. They caught some really nice flatheads. I believe Tara got a new PB. So, yeah, really, really good stuff. If you haven't checked them out, go check over. What is it? Something reloads? Rods and reloads.
Rods and Reloads.
I'm so used to being Fish on Luke. I'm trying to remember it all.
Sonny Catnapper Parker said he's here to make a short visit, about as short as Dockery. Hello there, Sonny. Good to see you in here, buddy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Tim Donna's joined us. Hello, Tim. Look, that's how you know we love you, brother.
That's right.
If we didn't, yeah. Twisted Fishing TV's in here. Hello there.
Hey,
David.
Frank. David Smith from Arkansas. There's David Funk. Man, this guy has caught 50-pound flathead 4 weeks in a row.
That is awesome.
That's that's a long time to keep a fish on your hook and keep reeling it in every weekend.
He's really been on
I'll
them.
make mention on that. Since using the information from Ted Ellenbecker, that is the information that I used a few weeks ago when I went out and tried that different flathead spot and ended up with a new PB. So, I mean, if you guys didn't see that episode or you've forgotten some of that episode, go back and if you rewatch one, that's one to rewatch. That's a good one.
That's
And
right.
Ted
I'm glad that I can get Ted on here from time to time. You know, Ted's a huge fan of mine. He has said time and time again, he goes, "You are the best fisherman of all the sons that Lyle has."
All right.
You beat me. I was looking for the button, man.
Yeah, they just did. You know, sometimes he just gets going and he goes kick it. So,
And he also mentioned that he wouldn't do it for anybody else. So I
Okay.
appreciate you, Ted Ellenbecker. You're welcome anytime, my friend.
He is an awesome speaker and so knowledgeable, but so is both of his daughters. And they also do seminars and stuff. We tried to get them on here, and someday I think we will. The problem is their work schedules just conflict, and it's just not worked out. But at some point, we probably will have.
that's the truth, Creole.
Getting deep, yeah. You have no idea how deep, Jeremy.
I'm gonna hold my arm up, save my phone, and my boots are done for.
Really? They're coming over the top?
It's fell over the top already. Nubby said he's got to roll his pant legs up. Man, it didn't
Hey,
take.
all I got to say is haters going to hate.
That's right. That's
Haters
right.
gonna hate.
That's the way Dockery is. That's how the bread thing got started.
Just shake it off, Chad.
Well, technically, I mean, bread's not a live bait, right?
Bread is not live bait.
No, it's as much. It's about as much a live bait as gulp is.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm kind of torn on this one, whose side to pick, because I think of bread as kind of like making a dough ball, and a dough ball would be kind of like a crappie niblet that you would. And I can see where there's some gray area here.
I'm kind of wondering how gulp come in with crappie niblets not, but crappie niblets just I've never had any luck with them anyway, so I wasn't too worried.
Yeah, I haven't either. But you know, some people swear by them. Yeah.
But I can eat bread, and I guess if I was hungry enough, I could eat a gulp. So
I try never to eat chicken, but sometimes
yeah.
I would rather eat it than use it for bait. Let's just say that. Sonny says it's as live as a chicken.
Hey, Richard Ward.
Hey, Richard Ward, looky here. Glad to see you.
Buddy.
Speaking of Richard Ward, let me get my calendar out, but I believe the 26th is next Monday night is the giveaway for the 2 reels. Is that correct?
You tell us that's the date. That's
Sounds
the date.
right
I
to
don't
me.
remember.
We're going to give away 2 reels that Richard Ward sent us. I have them right here. I will get one of them out, and I don't know which one it is. Don't matter.
Chaddy said he was going to give me this red one that's in a leather case.
No, he did not ever.
No, yeah, I know he did not. He's going to give that to
You know who's going to end up with that one? Luke.
Ancient Mariners, one blue. I call this a copper color. I don't know what color it's supposed to be. These are brand new in the box. We're going to give one away to one guy, and the second one will be to somebody else, men or women, present military duty or retired veterans. Either way, it makes no difference. Just go to the Catfish Weekly group page, and at the top of the page, you can enter right there. We're going to put all them entries together, and we're going to spin the deal, the giveaway tool, and 2 people's going to win 1 reel apiece. And Richard Ward, we can't thank you enough for doing this. And there's no better people that deserves these reels than our military people.
Absolutely.
I just dropped the link to that in the chat.
Yep.
There was, right now, Lyle, looks like we've got 31 comments on that post.
Very nice. Sonny says, just make sure you pronounce my name correctly when I win.
So Chris Flores has joined us.
Hey, Chris, how's it going? Glad to see Chris.
Muddy River had the nicest rod at CatCon.
Yeah, well, he said that he was wanting to put out the best one he's ever put out. You know, he's doing them fancy ones now.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to put Fields to Water, the fishing god, on one, but he said he asked around and was like, he got such great feedback that he didn't know that, he could keep up with the supply and demand on it. And
I have never heard anybody tell D that yet.
I'm just throwing it out there, guys, that.
Well, I mean, there might be something to it. A while back. What's that?
How did that tournament he was in over the weekend work out?
I know. I didn't even see it. I was busy Saturday.
How did that work out, Chadwick?
I had to use chicken, so don't freaking count.
How many did you catch?
We're not talking about it. Let's move along.
Yeah. I don't know, Lyle. There might be something to that because a month or so ago, Christina's vacuum broke, and I had a Fields to Water sticker laying around. I put it on the vacuum, and now that vacuum sucks again. So.
Hey, downtown Brown.
Oh man, feeling catty. Hey, Pam, congratulations.
That's my buddy Keith right there.
That's my buddy Keith right there. Great guy, good friend of mine.
You time him out.
That is my buddy Keith.
Oh, okay. What's the thing about bets on it? Brian, if you go over to the Catfish Weekly Facebook group, and Chad put a link right to the post just a little while back in chat. You can go right to it. Richard Ward has donated 2 Ancient Mariner reels. And next Monday, we're going to give away those reels to 2 veterans, past or present military service.
That's right.
We're going to draw 2 of them. But to be eligible, you have to sign up on that Facebook post. So get over there.
And it don't cost you anything.
It don't cost you nothing. And you get signed up, and 2 people are going to get reels. And
Thank you, dear. I've tried.
Yeah, Chad. Buddies don't mute buddies.
That's right. Welcome to chat.
So best friends will time a brother out just for the fun of it.
Peter, you're eligible. All you have to do is sign up. I know you are former military, and thank you for your service. We appreciate it.
Michael
Sonny, have not.
That explains a lot. I was always wondered where they got the idea for Forrest Gump.
What?
Josh got it. That's okay.
I got it.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't. But yeah, Dieter, just go over and sign up. We'd like to have you in there. If you're interested, we're going to give 2 of them away. So, Chris is here. Telly caught a lot of fish on here.
Custom Wonder Woman Blue Cat rod. And ask what she was using for bait.
Don't.
Chicken. Last time I used chicken for bait was when we were up at Baldwin. I had Caitlin with me. And we were fishing with that stuff. And it's on me because I wasn't thinking about what I was doing. But I was handling that chicken, baiting hooks and everything. And then we left. And we stopped at the Casey's down the road from Baldwin Lake, and Caitlin got a piece of pizza, and I got chicken tenders. Well, by the time I got home, I was sick as a dog, and I was blaming it on those chicken tenders, not thinking that I didn't wash my hands after handling that raw chicken. I probably give myself salmonella. So,
probably.
I said, you know what? I said, I've cut shad and handled shad and everything else, and I've never made myself sick from it. So I'll stick with it.
Dieter says he'll sign up, and if he wins, he will give it away. That's pretty commendable. Thank you, Dieter. We appreciate that.
Buggy, send me your information, and I'll put you on the list.
Yeah.
You have my cell phone number, or you did.
Yeah, just.
Okay, Dee's already working on it. So
he's already working on it. Good deal. Awesome.
Brian, send Chad a message over there at fieldstowater@gmail.com. We'll get you signed up.
Yeah, we'll get you on the list.
I don't want to exclude somebody just because they don't have Facebook. Because
No, I agree.
I
Just
tell you what, there's days that I wish I didn't have Facebook. So
there's a lot of days.
Most every day. Sonny says if he wins, he will give it to a youth. Another very commendable thing. Thank you, Sonny.
Yeah, but just to be, make sure we put it out here. It has to be, Army,
Navy,
Marines, National
Coast
Guard.
Guard.
You can't Kiss Army, Sonny.
That's right. It doesn't matter. Any branch of the military, past or present.
Kiss Army does not count, Sonny.
What was that?
The Kiss Army, you know the Kiss, or Lyle, you were a member of the Kiss Army back in the day.
Maybe. Maybe. I remember when we had Kiss 8 tracks.
oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't remember that. I do, however. So, yeah. Is in a short army.
Oh man.
Well, I tend to agree with that.
The Oompa Loompas.
One of the things that we was going to talk about tonight, gentlemen, is preparing for post spawn. Now, I don't know what the water temperature is where you guys is at. Where Chad's at, it ought to be freezing because fish don't bite over. But around here, they're getting ready to come off the nest.
Mm-hmm.
I did see a video where I sent a link to Josh that was shot, I assume, it was posted last weekend. So I don't know if it was shot last weekend or not. A gentleman and his little girl and his dad, and they took this little girl, and I'm guessing she was about Caitlin's age, out jug fishing, and they was letting her pull them up in. And they only caught 2 or 3 that was over the slot length on Truman Lake. They released the overfish and all that was in the slot and only kept the unders, which that means they had to be 26 inches or smaller. And this little girl absolutely had a blast pulling those fish in. And boys, that's the way to do jug fishing.
That is the responsible way.
Throw the big face back, yeah.
Jug fishing gets a bad rap, and it's just like anything else. I can over harvest with a rod and reel. It's a whole lot easier to do it with 50 jugs out on the water.
That's exactly right.
But mind your jugs, keep an eye on them, and stay with them. I don't like you set them out there, you jug a bay and then just wander off and leave it and let them things go all over. Stay with them, run them. Don't let them sit out there forever. When you're done, get them off the water, and
it's a perfect time to learn how to drift fish and use boat control.
Oh yeah, and
it really
you
is.
can go out with a bunch of jugs and get you a spotlight and have a good time. So,
and if you do it at night, it's a whole lot cooler than it is during the daytime.
Yes,
although these guys was doing it during the daytime, I assume for video quality, because a lot of people don't have the equipment to do night videos and do them good. Anybody can go out and do a live and have a light shining on them, but to do them where you can really see, it takes some equipment to do it correctly. But yeah, that little girl had a blast. There's no doubt in my mind she's a catfisherman for the rest of her day. She's hooked, and the video was very enjoyable.
Oh yeah,
So,
that might mean we might have to do that next weekend or something. Go out and go jug fishing. Maybe do it next Monday during Catfish Weekly. Just go out there and drop the jugs. And
I've never jug fished in my life.
it's fun.
Yep.
We got those. I got some bank poles we've put out on the Big Muddy River before.
Sonny says he knows a guy that runs PVC poles for flatheads and releases all the ones over 15 pounds. Another responsible
That's a good
effort.
way to do it.
Another responsible effort. Yeah.
The
Well,
jugs, the bank poles, the trot lines, everything. They're just tools. All they are is tools, and it's the person using those tools that makes whether it's responsible or irresponsible harvest. So I mean,
There's Big Bill. Thank you for that, buddy. We appreciate it.
My
You keep a
bud.
kid fishing, they won't like you get a kid to have a fishing habit, they'll not have enough money for a drug habit. I promise you that.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
That
Yeah,
is.
they'll end up with like 20 boats in their yard, right, Josh?
Yep.
Well, yeah, but
But
you
my phone's sitting over here still blowing up from people trying to buy one. So
well, is that going to give Christina a parking spot? That's is the question.
she's parked ready. Yeah, more or less. It's not been in her parking spot in a while, but
Oh, well, not that one.
not that one. There's not one in her parking. There's a grill and a picnic table in her parking spot, right? And I'm sitting on the picnic table, so
Yeah, this looks like it's pretty nice out at your house. It's kind of warm inside, but
you know I got up this morning. It was like 70 degrees and kind of overcast, and then we took Heath's boat out because I've had Heath's boat parked in my yard for 2 weeks working on it, and we took it out to the lake and run it. It run good, and did a little bit of fishing while we were there. We didn't have anything. I was fishing old plastic worm. And we were on Lake Egypt, which is it's full of stunted bass. So
there's Jerry Parker and Mark Barnum.
there's Parker.
Glad to see you guys join us. Big Bill got in here.
Parker's pushing that towards that million.
He is good for him, man. We're so proud of him.
I am ready to.
Good job with that.
I am ready to see that. And I apologize for last week. The show run long anyway, so it wouldn't have been, we wouldn't have been able to do it. But we had one submission to the bragging board, and that was Jerry from Parker Pursuits. And then I've been locked out of the pics at the weekendangler.com. I've been locked out of that email address all day, so I haven't been able to get in there. It's on my server. It's on my domain, so I'm going to have to go in there and find out how I got locked out of my own domain. But shouldn't happen. But it could easily be Microsoft Outlook being crazy. So
Could be.
Catfish.
Stephanie.
We're halfway in, and we barely touched on the post spawn. But
We haven't even talked about it
Yeah,
yet. Right now, like I say, in our area, this week, maybe already some places, and for sure by the next week they will be coming off. Blues especially. Channel cats probably already are.
Yeah.
And I'm saving up sunfish for bait. Not that you can't use other things, but we don't have skipjack in the lakes around me, so it would be shad or bluegills, greens, anything like that. So we've been stocking up on the greenies because they're easy to catch right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feed them bread. But regardless, that's what I'm going to be using. And that way, if the shad would happen to be hard to get, I got bait. And we'll probably try to hit it. We're going to go out and one day this week, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, I don't know what day yet, we're going to go out and try to lock down our fishing spot for the weekend for the tournament of Chads.
Oh, I got a tournament this weekend?
Well, I thought so.
Well, how am I supposed to go fishing?
Yeah,
You're right. That's Saturday morning. I'm going to have to get up early and everything.
Damn it.
Man, I hope Dee will get up and make me, bacon and stuff for while
I bet she will.
make
Let her
fun of
DoorDash. Maybe she'll DoorDash you some.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Last time we hosted a tournament, or last time I was hosting a tournament, Christina brought me a big plate full of eggs and bacon and sausage and gravy and all that good stuff. So
The Funkmeister. I feed my gills chicken. David, that's too funny. But yeah, that's any kind of sunfish this time of the year in the spring works great for bait.
Mm-hmm.
You can use them live or cut up. I prefer to use them cut up because I'm trying to catch channels and blues. But they'll eat. The flatheads will eat cut bait, but for me they just like live bait a lot better. But there's not enough flatheads for me to win any kind of deal fishing in the daytime over here on flat. I'm going to be fishing for blues. That's the most prevalent thing in the lakes. That's what I'm going to be using, and cut bait works the best for me.
Yep.
Frank says greens are the most widespread and easiest to catch. They're also less desirable for the table, so they are the perfect bait. They are lively and stay alive.
That's the truth. We've gone out and caught a bunch of bluegill before, and if we start getting into a mess of bluegill going to take home, if we catch some decent sized greenies, I'll throw them in the mix too.
Yeah,
they'll eat just as good, but they're not as big as the bluegills. And I brought the fish basket home one day, threw it in the sink, and started filleting fish. And the greenie was the last one to get filleted, and he was still alive at the end of cleaning. I mean, I think I cleaned 100 bluegill that night.
Oh, yeah, probably so.
Flathead, cut bait, work spawn, live bait after spawn. Oop.
Lance McCoo guy, welcome.
See, I've year round when I'm catching flathead, I've always had better luck on cut bait than I have.
Sorry, Chad. Looks like you're not. Looks like you're out of luck. This month I got into fish. I had to use chicken, that other crap. So, what's the other crap?
Yeah, what other crap did you have to use?
Yeah,
chicken.
That's all we used was chicken. Yeah. Well, now you're getting yelled at from the other room.
Who is?
How am I getting yelled at?
I'm just letting you know that if she wanted you to let you know, she would tell you.
Yeah, Ted, you ain't getting any bacon and eggs.
I see that.
Don't sound like it, brother. Doesn't sound like it.
Well, I'll be sure to remind you of that Saturday morning.
Maybe I'll put the Blackstone on that little 2-man boat, and while I'm floating around catching bluegill, I'll cook me some bacon for you. How's that?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I tell you
what,
what.
go to fish.
I mean, you guys do that. I'm going to be sitting here in my comfy chair, knowing that I've already got a spot in the finals while you guys are battling it out.
I know. There we go.
He just can't stop tonight.
No, he can't. He can't help it.
Just can't stop, man. Oh man, he's wound up. He has a good day.
We'll make him the star he thinks he is. So.
But he don't know what kind of bait he needs for this weekend because he don't have to catch none.
Well, I do need to catch some bait, but not to win the tournament.
Yeah, I need some more. I need some more bullheads. I might go try to catch some more this evening. So
there you go. If you could go live, let me know. So, what do you guys think about bait and different things in your area this time of the year for post spawn?
We are moving towards it. We were out there today. Water temperatures hit 80.
Wow.
And
they got to be coming off.
They have to be coming off. I know Rend Lake has been. Rend Lake is kind of my judge on channel cats. Because that lake is so full of them, I can kind of get a feel for how they're acting in other lakes just by how. Because Rend Lake acts like the rest of the lakes around here. Rend Lake, they're about half of them have moved up to the rocks to spawn, and they're starting to come back out onto the flats. But there's guys catching them on the flats that are full of eggs. So those are ones that still haven't made it up to spawn yet.
Yep.
And, they should be done in another week or two.
I think so.
They should probably already be done, and they probably already would be done if we hadn't had that late April cold snap that we had. The crappie came up, and then we had that cold snap, and they pulled off the bank, and the catfish usually follow them up, and they didn't come up. So
yeah, we're still in that yo-yo where we get highs 86 to 90, and then all of a sudden it drops down to the right around 70, and it's like it's just yo-yo.
It's kind of been up and down. So I haven't been on the river in so long, I forgot what it looks like. I feel bad, but
it was 73 to 74 on Sunday.
The river always runs anywhere 6 to 8 degrees cooler than the lakes around here. So
yeah. Lakes are always the first to warm up and the first to cool down.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but all of our rivers are low right now anyway. So
This is a good time, like what Lyle's saying he's doing, is to start stocking up on bait, doing some bait fishing, crappie fishing, stuff like that, while the spawn's going on. Unless you're wanting some eaters, this is a good time of year to go grab some eater size too.
Yeah.
Right now you can catch some really good size gills and greens. If you want to eat greenies, that's there's nothing wrong with them. Are they a bluegill? No, but they're not bad. But we caught some really good ones, and moon eye. I would love to have some
Moon eye are wonderful bait, and they're fun to catch.
Yeah.
They're super fun to catch, and this is the time of year. This is the time of year that they're going to become easy to catch.
Yep. And I see that Frank says July 1st is dead in the middle of spawn over there every year where he lives. For us, July 4th weekend is a perfect time to start catching channels and blues. They're come all pretty much off the nest end, and the flatheads are going on just about every 4th of July weekend. So,
wow.
But it does depend on water temperature mainly.
What in the heck?
Spawning more from fighting.
Wow.
That's rough. But yeah, I've seen a lot worse.
Nubby said calling for rain here for the next week, so the river be up and the fight should be fire. That's the truth. This time you get the rain, in the wintertime you get that rain and it raises the river, makes it all muddy, and it turns the bite off. This time of year,
it'll crank them up.
Oh, man, it'll fire them up.
Yeah, they get ready to go. So
go find you a tributary that's got water rushing off into the main river, and they'll be right there.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. There's Richard with Fishing and Freedom says the Mississippi was 80 yesterday here at New Madrid. That's pretty warm.
That is.
I didn't know that the Mississippi had dropped so low.
It's back down again. It's not like it was last year, but it's down. And
Mark says the Missouri is lower than he's seen it. There is no reason for that. Them people at the Corps of Engineers, they know how to control them. They just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing worse is if you're a duck hunter in the fall of the year, when you want to go to places to duck hunt, they'll run all the water out of every place where you can't get in there and get it and tell you they don't do that for ducks. They don't throw water for the ducks.
Yeah.
And they won't pay for your props and all the stuff you tear up getting where you want to go either. Because I've tried. Don't worry.
Ours, they'll pump the main lake down and flood the backwaters for the ducks, and then anytime you complain, they're like, "Well, we do this. This lake is for the waterfowl. It's not for you." So, okay.
Yeah, it's
get your $15 sticker from the waterfowl when they show up. But
yeah,
that's just me.
Dry over this place. Dry as a popcorn fart. Pretty dry. Pretty dry, son.
Frank says prefrontal bites fire too this time of year, like an hour or two before a storm front. That is the truth. I wanted to go yesterday so bad. We had that little bit of a front moving through, and just wasn't going to happen.
Well, I was glad I didn't go yesterday. My dog come home. She's been gone for 6 days, and somebody had her up in an apartment down the road from us. And that's the same thing as stealing.
Mm-hmm.
They sent their daughter down there. It looked like she's about 12 years old with a new leash and my dog to meet me at a church. So I
not know where they live.
Yeah, but not which is in an apartment building, but I don't know which apartment.
Right.
It's too many to go through. I'll be wore out before I got through 2 or 3 of them.
I'm glad she came. You got her back.
Oh yeah, me too. I missed her, but I was to the point where I thought she'd be gone, and I was going to take her crate out, her kennel out. But she made it home. She's happy to be home, but not any more happy than I am. Even the neighbors are happy about it.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah. So, Chad,
what's up?
We're not fishing this weekend
because we've already made the championship. Yes, that's right.
Do you have any tips or pointers on post-spawn fishing?
Well, me being the greatest fisherman on the planet of Earth.
Attaboy. There we go. Ted, you cost me work. Every time I got to kick you out of the show, then I got like 3 moves to make on the screen to get myself back in.
I look forward to that 4th of July mark, right?
Yeah.
Typically, that's a good
week
time.
away, dude.
Huh?
Just a week away.
Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks, week and a half.
A couple weeks away.
Yeah, you ain't got too long, and that's typically after that the fishing starts picking back up, and we'll really start being able to get back out there and figuring out where they're at again.
Right, Ernie.
They'll start feeding back up, getting their summer bellies on, their beach bods, and then before they put on their Chad bods for the wintertime. They do that in the fall. So
yeah. Well, this is one of the times earliest in the year where they do feed hard because they've been laid up for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And when they take off and come off that nest, food is their number one priority.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the best times to get lucky and catch a big one on chicken and tell everybody that's the miracle bait, that doesn't catch fish like it didn't yesterday. I'm convinced that Danny Stone and I were the only ones using chicken yesterday.
Probably so. Mike Greenwell, welcome, buddy.
Hey, Mikey. Avid's joined us too. Hey, Avid.
Hey, Avid. But yeah, I don't think it really matters what you're using for bait when they start coming off, because they're all going to go after whatever's available for them to eat, and they'll probably eat about anything.
Well, and that's typically though too, like the transition into where skipjack and moon eye seem to do really, really well. Like I use skipjack year round.
Asian carp.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The hotter the weather is, the better Asian carp works.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I use skipjack year round. We'll always have skipjack even in the dead of wintertime. I'll catch fish on it, but the bite will seem to heat up on some skipjack this summer. Now there'll be days it's hit or miss some days where they might choose shad or bluegill over it, but skipjack will be my number one.
Parker said chicken's cold weather bait. I've never had any luck with it in cold weather.
I never had any luck with it at all. I've caught some fish on it, but all dinks and
I've had one good run with it, and we were suspend drifting over a mussel bed. So
I'm convinced that the fish over here are just that much smarter than they are everywhere else.
Ricky, I got news for you. The only thing when I get out of bed that is on my mind is my cup of coffee. I really honestly don't. Yeah, I typically don't eat for a few hours after I wake up.
Yeah.
So.
I don't eat till a lot of times middle of the afternoon or late in the evening. When I do, it's on till I go to bed.
Yeah. Once last start,
Yeah. Yeah, I can say I've caught fish on chicken. They're little dinks, and a couple of them was, okay sized fish, nothing ever of any size. And I can fish it right along the side of shad or skipjack, even fishing worms, and catch 10 times more fish and bigger ones. So I don't care what people say about their chicken. If they believe in it, that's 90% of what's going on. They have confidence.
I do believe that.
Good for them. If it works for them, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But there's just either that or the fish are just that much smarter here. That's all. Because let's face it, I don't ever see chickens swimming around the waters I fish. Never.
I keep telling you. That's why I've thought about using duck more and more, especially with baby ducks.
In my opinion, that would be more likely to get a bite.
Use one of those old cormorants.
Oh my God. They don't nothing eat them nasty things. Oh, crap.
Hey, Mikey said he's taking his brother David to his very first catfish
That's
tournament
pretty cool.
Saturday. Good luck to the both
That's
of you on that
cool.
one.
Look at here. Mark says, wow, the fish in Iowa, Missouri have a higher IQ than another one.
There might be some truth to that. I don't know.
That's awesome. Yeah. I 90% of this bullshit we talk about on here about the chicken guys is just that. It really is. We love making fun of them. They love making fun of us. So it works out to where it's an interesting conversation. If it's for them,
Lyle, I was having this conversation the other day with one of my really good friends, and I said, chicken, the whole chicken conversation, it's like this, ever since Dieter fingered a chicken, that
it wasn't a chicken, it was a catfish.
Super relevant. Like it's like this new fantastic bait. But you and I've even talked about it. We were using chicken 25, 30 years ago.
Absolutely.
I remember 20, 25 years ago, we were using it, but that was before we really, I think of it as like leveling up in fishing. When you go.
I don't know why, because somebody picked the wrong background for tonight or something.
Oh, Lyle had one up, and I was one.
Yeah, Chad changed it on me. I didn't have that up.
Yeah, well, you had a Panfish Nation one up. I had
there
to
we
change
go.
it. Here, let me do this one.
I like that one with Dockery.
I like all of
It
them.
is.
That one works.
It doesn't matter to me.
But anyway,
I think he looks pretty sophisticated in that suit.
I think of it as like leveling up in fishing, right? Is where, chicken is where I was at like 18, 19 years old and really didn't know anything. And once I learned, add some bluegill, and then you added like skipjack and, all these, these other baits, like real baits. I mean, it would be kind of like using bread for bait for panfish right now. I mean,
if it works, it works.
I mean, I'm taking Dockery's side here on that one, but that's kind of where
Stop that.
But I do love busting people's chops over the whole chicken thing.
I do too, and it's fun. I know they got to be enjoying it because they ride on me like a horse, and I like to dish it out. But you got to quit doing that, dude.
My buddy Uncle Lou.
You know what? If you can't take it, you shouldn't dish it out.
No.
And I can take it and dish it out. So, but I enjoy it. And one of my favorite to do it with is Chris Lee.
I am. Oh yeah, I love giving Chris.
Yeah.
He's do that old. Yes, ma'am.
I love that.
I'm 41 years old. Josh and I are the same age, but I'm just a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Bluegill's
an eel. Go-to
I
bait
don't-
for
I'm not sure I could do an eel. Them things are nasty, slimy.
I've been trying to catch a water snake. I was going to make a hillbilly eel out of it and cut that thing up. And ever since I decided that I wanted to catch one of those and cut it up, those things will not get near me. It's like they know that something bad's getting ready to happen to them.
I tell you what, Lyle, Friday night was the first time I tried eel. No bites. But Friday night, this is the baits that we used Friday night. We had live bluegill, cut bluegill, live shad, cut shad, a live moon eye, or we caught a live moon eye, but it died before we used it. So we cut moon eye, skipjack. And it seems like we had one other bait. But we had 5 or 6 different baits that night and didn't get it, but like one tap. That was all night long.
See, that's part of the spawn. It just is.
It was horrible.
But eel's one of the very few things that's more slimy than a pike.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just really are. I'd like to welcome Tall Betty Jean Cross into chat tonight. Good to see you.
Don't even acknowledge Brian B.
And there's Missy Kennedy's joined us, and Brian B.
Shirley T. Brian B. Catfishing's in here. Said Chad don't know where to fish. That's his problem. Big dummy.
You might not be wrong.
Well, maybe. There's Danny Stone. He says, Danny Stone and Fields to Water, the I Hate Chicken Club. There you go.
Yeah, no, I love a chicken club sandwich now, but
oh yeah, but bacon,
that's good.
the bacon drowns out the taste of the chicken, so it makes it a lot better.
I can take the chicken off that sandwich and throw it away and just eat the bacon, lettuce, tomato, and.
Yeah.
But you know what's coming up? You know what I'm looking forward to? Once we come out and get into July, that's when that that bump and bite on the ledges just goes
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. That's right.
And
That's if we have any current. See, I start looking for the end of July to August. That is the best time on the Ohio because you can drag.
But if you would just come over to the real water and fish the Mississippi, you would have current.
Well, I have plans, Lyle. Maybe here in the next month or so to come out and do some fishing. If I can get somebody to, get out of their office chair.
Trying to get my trolling motor fixed now.
oh wow,
You better get her going, son.
I'm trying because I'm not going to buy a new one. I've had that in too long. It's like an old friend. It's kind of like my dog. I don't want to trade it in. There's Chrissy Brown. Glad to see Chrissy in here tonight. But, we got a lot of things coming up this summer. It's going to be a lot of fun. And the start of it's going to be this weekend. We had Mark's tournament here, 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
And your tournament's this weekend. These are panfish. Josh's is the 8th, right?
Yep, July.
And I don't know when Dockery's is. Hell, you can't make heads or tails of anything he does.
Yeah, mine's Saturday the 24th. I'm trying to remember. We're starting at what? 6 a.m. Eastern?
No,
that'd be 5 a.m. here.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
All right, we'll go with 7 a.m. Eastern then. How about that?
No.
Yeah. All right.
7 a.m.
Okay, 8 a.m. and that's where I'm cutting it. It'll be at 8 a.m. is when we'll start.
Chad, I'm going to tell you something. We went to Stockton Lake the other day looking because you can't fish the last water you fish is out. It's dead the rest of the year for this tournament series, according to James Dockery, who made the rules.
Yeah, all rules are by James Dockery, not by
the rest of us had nothing to do with that. And so I can't go back to Pomme de Terre the entire rest of this year for this series. So Ben's at Pomme de Terre is dead to me. We're headed to Stockton this weekend. And where we went the other day and got into those greenies and the big bluegill was below the dam on Stockton Lake. There is a dock, like Dockery fishes, except it had no dock roof. You didn't have to worry about whacking it. And
you didn't have to,
None of that. Of course,
he probably went there and tore it up.
He probably did. But it was so hot and the sun was shining so brightly. The fish was all up underneath that dock. And I finally got to catching them by sticking my jig down between where the walkway come together with the dock. And I was fishing them in that crack down, and they come up there and I'm being annihilate jigs.
Oh, man.
Cindy was using a black and silver jig, and I was using a green one. And, wow, they was hammering them. And you'd catch 3 or 4, then they'd stop, and you'd walk around the dock maybe for a minute and then go back, and they was right back in there again, just drill them. But it got so hot, Cindy got hot, had to go to the truck, and I had to carry a 30-quart cooler back up there full of fish. So, yeah, it wasn't too bad, but, it was a lot of fun, and those fish was on fire. So what I'm going to be looking for when I go over there is shaded docks that I can shoot up underneath, and we'll see how that works. And I shouldn't be saying that. All these guys are going to be in the tournament, but which reminds me, Chad, maybe we need to go through that list of who all is in this tournament this weekend.
We can do that real quick. But before I do, I did want to share because, like I said, we've only got a few weeks left to spawn. The river will be slowing down with our current. Mm-hmm. Lakes will be on fire. It is a great time to get ready to start dragging baits. And what you need for that is some Uncle Lou planer boards. Make sure you go over to Facebook and check him out. Uncle Lou's Tackle on Facebook. Not one, but buy 2 of those planer board sets because, trust me, you'll want backups. You might want to go ahead and get 3 just in case something happens to one.
Do you lose a lot of these boards or what?
Huh?
Do you lose a lot of boards?
No, I've got 4 sets, and I love them. I drag sometimes 3 or 4 sets of boards. But you want at least 2 sets of boards when you
run 4 boards off each side.
Yeah, I've done it before.
I've done it before too, but it's a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not really.
I've done two sets before, and that was enough.
No, I've done 3.
I always drag with
Usually
two
four is
sets.
a handful.
But I like to drag. I like to drag 3 or 4 behind the boat too.
I'll drag two. I'll drag
stack
two
them
behind the
both up.
boat, and I'll drag anywhere between 2 and 3 at least on each side.
Yeah.
Mostly, if I do more than 6 rods, I'm dragging. I'll do 8. It's just the way my boat's set up.
I can, but we've done it so much already. If we do it again, I'm afraid he's going to leave.
He might just turn. Yeah, he'd turn around and leave.
I might.
Leave reading.
They are by far. I've used several different brands of planer boards, and I by far love the Uncle Lou boards. So again, you should buy 2 sets at minimum. Use code FTW10, and he'll send me a dirty, nasty gram, and you won't get anything off of what he charges you. But they're really good price.
I need to get some. Sounds like I've got several brands that I like a lot, and some that I don't like so much. But
yeah,
I don't have any of these. Maybe I need to get some.
I think you do.
I need to try some of those. I built mine, but
you should try Uncle Lou's.
Yep, that's what I need to do.
You ever try Uncle Lou's, you won't even think about DIY in your own again.
I bought one set that were not Uncle Lou's, and they were the biggest garbage I ever had in my life. And the only thing they were good for was I disassembled them and used some of the pieces when I built mine. So
yeah. But this weekend, Lyle, we've got you and Cindy. We got Josh Dunnigan, Mark Richbitch, Jerry Parker, the Bullock Experience, Robin C., Steve Mosley, and Nina Beck. So
Very
my
nice.
picks this week are going to be, here's, not in any particular order, but I'm thinking Nina and Robin are pretty big odds to win this.
Are they fishing together?
Bullock in a second or third place.
Are they fishing together?
Who?
The 2 ladies.
No, but they have either one of them could win it, and I figure Bullock will finish second or third place.
You wouldn't like to bet on that, would you?
Well,
he's going to put us at the bottom of this, Lyle, just so you
Yeah,
know.
he thinks I got news for him.
I would pick Cindy, but I know that you're going to sabotage her wherever you.
Why would I do that? I got to go home.
I know, but I saw it last weekend. Whenever every time she would catch a fish, you'd catch a fish, and then all of a sudden she'd go to catch one, and you'd bump her elbow or something. And
That's some BS right there. She fixes 90% of the meals. I am never going to do anything to discount that. I promise you. It is
Don't
not.
we ought to do that chicken tournament gave me an idea. We ought to do a shrimp tournament, and we'll get Lyle.
Oh,
the guy's got to stop.
If you do that, I'm just going to get me a pilot and sit here and eat, and I'll help somebody.
Yeah. I don't know. I used to use it for bait, and then I learned to throw a cast net. So,
Well, there you go. And
shrimp's too expensive.
I hear that it is. I usually don't cook shrimp around the house. Cindy don't like the smell of it. She don't eat it. So we usually go out and I eat shrimp. And usually it's all you can eat because that's the only way I get enough. But we have actually marinated fish that we was going to use for bait in shrimp juice or with limited success. It's like all them other concoction things. It maybe you catch a few dinks on it, maybe you don't catch anything on it. It didn't work really well for us, but I hear people catching a lot of fish on them. I would like to get some grass shrimp sometime. The little ones that's in pond things. Now, to me, that's a natural bait in the water that you're fishing, and they would probably work well. But I haven't got the time or anything to make it happen, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm hardly. It's really hard for me to use them for bait if they're big enough to eat.
Jeremy says shrimp is a very good Creole bait.
That's exactly.
It works on me too. I'll eat some shrimp.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I tell you what, I didn't catch a daggone thing yesterday, all day. couple little taps, never caught a fish. But on my way home, it caught me.
Oh no! That looks like Mark's bait bucket.
Oh man!
Speaking of Mark won't be live tonight. I saw he posted. He is getting old and he went to get up off the toilet and hurt his back. So he was going to do some live fishing, but he was using his
and I was hoping he was
KFC
going to do
bucket.
some live fishing. I was going to go jump into his live again. So
Yeah, but no, he looks like he's hurt his back, folks, and won't be going live tonight. I think he's just using it as an excuse because the air temperature fell below 60, and at his age, it's hard to get out. It's hard to get out of the water at that age.
he's trying to keep the
Whoa, wait a minute. That's not true.
Yeah, he's trying to keep the miles off that new boat.
Why would you do that? Nobody says grass shrimp work great. That's what I like to try them sometime. I never have. So
Mark Barnum said that new boat must ride rough. Yeah, that's.
Didn't he get the air ride seats?
I don't know. I
I
don't
don't know
remember.
if he did or not.
I watched the walkthrough of it, and I couldn't tell you what kind of seats those were.
Yeah.
I know that they were like gold trimmed.
They were monogrammed. I remember that.
Yeah, they were like gold trim, and then they had the titanium. Code, and then on the back of the emblem had it was like platinum or something emblem for the Lund. I don't know. It was
pretty nice. Pretty nice boat. Christina says, I miss my pet shrimp. He was so cool. I didn't know she had it. I gotta figure out something. Christina is kind of the pan fisherman in your family, and she's not in any of these tournaments. What's
I
up?
know. Well, we already know that Josh won't take her bluegill fishing, so.
Robert Modlin says he hurt his back polishing his boat.
Polishing, never mind.
Maybe. But you know what? That's a nice boat.
We've only touched on the subject a little bit tonight.
I know.
What we were going to talk about because you guys keep squirreling. So, Lyle.
That's your job, remember?
Lyle. Before we go, you are the other self-proclaimed fishing legend know-it-all.
Lyle caught the first catfish.
He did. I heard that Lyle helped design the first catfish.
Oh my God! Hi, Jim.
My question to you is: in the next couple of weeks, as these fish come off of spawn, what are you looking for? Water conditions and locations and stuff like that.
If I was going to be looking for post-spawn fish on the Mississippi or Missouri River, I would be in current seams, or I would be behind wing dikes in calm water where they'll go in to find bait easy to get because they're wore out from that spawn. And those places are the ones where they can just lay there and wait for the bait to come to them pretty much, because behind most of them wing dikes, you have a swirl, and that stuff swirls all the time. All they got to do is sit there where that swirl is and just pick stuff off as it comes by. If you're in the current seam, you just lay down there in the bottom of it and wait for that stuff to come through. Just reach out there and grab it. Now, that's just me. Now, on the lakes, I'm looking for some kind of structure, whether it be rocks, trees, ledges, drop-offs, anything like that. Another great place on that people overlook, and I probably shouldn't tell this, I'm sure I'm going to hear it later on, but off of points.
Mm-hmm.
You get a point that goes out, and it's real shallow, and then it goes off deep. Right there is a spot on lakes that is very overlooked by people fishing, and anything like that, them bait fish will be up in that shallow water, and they'll meander out there and get out there in that little deeper water. When they do, they lose their life.
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff I would be looking for post spawn.
That's where those secondary points inside, already inside the bay, and you've got your main lake points out there, but those you look inside that cove and you find that shallow water, and especially if there's a bunch of wood and stuff. You're targeting channel cat. They love to spawn up there around that
That's right.
wood, and you find that first secondary point right there, first access to deep water. They're not going to go far when they get done spawning.
That's right.
They're going to go out there. They're going to recover because they almost starve themselves to death during the spawn.
And the other thing is that's where a lot of your bait's going to be found this time of year, is in the back of coves. You can go in there and throw a cast net, and if there's grass in the back of that cove that has water up to it, throw right to the edge of it. And if you happen to get your net on some of the grass, don't worry about it. There'll be shad in there.
Good deal. Good deal. Good points, fellas. Good points. At least I turned the show back around and made it a Catfishing
show.
That's why they keep me around, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not just a pretty face.
Oh, that's where that went.
JG Hill Studio, welcome.
Well, welcome in, JG.
Glad to have you in here. Parker says shrimp on the grill. Man, I'm all over that. Let me tell you, I really am.
It makes me want to get some shrimp and try to cook it on my Blackstone. I've never cooked.
I've never done it on the Blackstone. I've always wanted to do fried rice on the Blackstone, do shrimp in it, but
yeah, that sounds good too.
Do a hibachi type thing, but I can't put on the show that those guys do. So
I like.
I could throw stuff in the air, let it hit the ground, but
I don't want to do that. Not shrimp.
Yeah, no.
We need to do it. Mark and I talked about doing a cooking show where he's live and I'm live at the same time cooking different stuff. Maybe we need to do that, Josh.
We ought to do that. We ought to do a. Ooh, we could leave that up. We could leave that up if we all three get us some catfish, and we all three do our own recipe. We could leave it up to the folks watching. Obviously they can't do the taste test, but we'll let them judge who won that one. So
that's right. Absolutely.
That'd be a fun show.
I'm all in for it, and sounds like a great thing to do. Jumbo shrimp wrapped in bacon on a barbecue. You're talking my language now, buddy. I'm telling you that now. That would be awesome. Hey, by the way, if anybody has seen the thumbnail for tonight's show, please tell Josh how cute that is. That's awesome. I think that deserves a nomination.
That one was fun. I was sitting there putting that one together this afternoon, and Christina was in the living room when I was making that one, and she wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing until that thumbnail was almost finished, and she saw it, and I had my back to her. She's over with John sitting there watching TV, and she noticed that thumbnail and started laughing. She goes, I just figured out what you're doing, and I'm like, yep. I said, we're having fun there with that one.
Yep, so. That's right. I thought the one that Chad done last week for the battery show, I thought that was really
a good one too.
That was not bad for a slap together one.
I tell you what, speaking of the battery show, just a little follow up. Lyle and Chad already know about this. I've told them, but during that show, I mentioned that one of those batteries was lower than the rest, and it was testing funny. That battery, I've come to the conclusion that it has 2 cells that are shorted.
Oh wow!
Oh, Luke. Just be careful what you do. Just be careful.
I'm trying to determine if he was making fun of you or Chad. I'm thinking Chad.
I don't know if he's targeting me. You don't mess with people who mess with people for a living, and that's cleaned up a lot.
He's got a very good point right there.
So. That is so true. So true.
But But no, I've come to the conclusion that 2 of the cells on that battery are probably shorted with the lead sulfate crystals, which means that battery's done for.
So it's good that we've done that show. You found a problem that you didn't.
I found a problem that would have. I mean, it wouldn't have stranded me out on the water, but it wouldn't have been good on that trolling motor running way less than 36 volts. So
There's Matt that want to be outdoors, and Monty Sheets has come in.
So we may have a short tip Saturday video for too long of how to cut one of those batteries up and reclaim the lead out of it.
Oh, that would be fun.
I think that might be fun. That might be one I can get the oscillating tool out there. I've always wanted to cut one of those open anyway. So
I never want to smell the acid in them, but you know.
Well, I'll dump a bunch of baking soda in there and let it neutralize that.
Luke says he's headed to the Missouri Thursday. Hope the spawn is over.
Yeah.
It ain't yet, buddy. So we'll see. I hope for you, if you're traveling very far, I hope it is too, because it's always more successful if the spawn's over. It really is. So see how that works out. Good luck. Hope you catch good ones. Anything else, gentlemen?
I think that's going to about do us. Just to cover one of the things I mentioned earlier. We're behind on the bragging board, so we don't have one this week. We'll have one next week. Last week we had one submission. It was Jerry Parker. The show ran long, so we didn't get to that one. We still have the photo. So anything that's been emailed in, we still have, and I'll throw them all together. We'll have us a real good bragging board for next week. And I would like to remind people, when I check the email and we only have one, I know y'all are fishing, and if you want to show off a fish, send that picture in. I think I got the overlay here. Maybe there it is. Send that picture in to pics at theweekendangler.com. And all you got to do is email the photo in. If you tell me a little bit about the weight or where you caught it or anything, then
I need you to forward that image to me. That way I can use it for a background.
I can do that. And then so send that in. And if you fish close to me, if you want to send your GPS coordinates where you caught that fish,
that would be great.
So
yeah, that'd just be great.
I'll go and check it out for you and make sure it's
just to make sure, right?
Right.
Don't forget, Mark's not going to be going tonight. He has hurt his back. He's not going to be having a show tonight. What else you got? Who's your guest this week on the show?
Let's just say, as soon as you started thinking, I was like, I have to come up with a thumbnail for Thursday night. We're going to call them the Three Stooges. So stay tuned. Come over to Fields to Water. Check us out on Thursday night.
Usual bait shop crew.
No, this
that's what I'm thinking.
A whole new level of the Three Stooges when I do my thumbnail.
Well, on Panfish Nation Wednesday night at 7, we're going to have Chad on, and we're going to talk about the upcoming Panfish Nation tournament this weekend on his channel. We touched on a little bit here tonight. It's really not catfish and stuff, but we're going to get into it a little more extensively, and hell, we might make fun of Dockery. Who knows?
That's always fun.
Yeah,
it is for me.
You reminded me that. I've done forgot, Lyle.
Well, that's why I messaged you, because if you was going to do something about it on your show, there's no sense of double dipping it. But you said you had something going, and I said, well, we might as well do it. And now, am I correct in saying that you are full in that tournament?
Yeah, we have every spot full right now.
Every spot is full. Okay. And as soon as this is over, Josh will make a post where his entries will open.
Yep. That way, whoever doesn't win the top two this coming Saturday, they'll have a chance to get into Josh.
Sign up to get into mine, except for me, because we can't fish our own. But
yeah.
Ooh, that's a good.
I'm ready to face.
Honestly, it's been so long, Missy, since I've tied anything. I couldn't tell you if
I was thinking about that the other day. We need to do us another jig tying one Saturday night or something.
Yeah, we need to do that. It's a lot of fun. Tonight. We have Dockery in there, and no telling who all else.
Mid-South, you won the prize. You get to give everybody in chat a $10 bill. Uncle Lou said so.
Yep. There you go. Everybody that is a host on Catfish Weekly, you won the prize of giving us all a $100 bill.
Look at that. Nubby said Mark hurt his back from carrying all that money.
I like Nubbies.
Nubby, that's awesome. But I can't
Uh,
say for sure I won't go live later. It's kind of hit or miss whether I go out there or not. If I do, I'm probably going to go after more of those bullheads because they're fun to catch. So
they are fun to catch, and I like the hook you're using on them, and it seems to work really well.
I have 1,000 more of those hooks coming in. So those will be.
There you go. If somebody wants some, they can message you, and you can.
Yep, send me a message. I'm gonna get in there, and it's been a while since I've done anything with the bonehead sight. It needs some spring cleaning done to it, so we'll get in there and get it all fixed up, and it'll be good to go for orders. And I try not to push that, but if somebody interested in those hooks, just let me know and send me a message. We'll go from there. So.
That's exactly right. Don't forget, everybody, Panfish Nation, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. We'll see you then. Graz, thanks for joining me tonight. We had a great show, and we'll see everybody Wednesday night and Chad Thursday night.
Yes, sir. Have a great week, everybody, and make